Hey, it's time for the weekly. I guess I don't know if it's weekly anymore, but the kind of update on how things are going. Sitting outside this morning, came out here a little before 6. We have a small group men's Bible study that I go to first on Wednesdays, and that's at 6 to 7. That just got done, so that's always good and refreshing. Get the day going. Um, so let's kind of talk about how things go at the store. So, um, been open Ames about 2 weeks. Ankeny actually opened Friday, so that was really exciting to see. Ankeny didn't quite have the rush of, I shouldn't say rush of people, but the volume on the first day open that Ames did, but we only had about a 1 day notice on that. So we threw out some emails over the weekend to remind everybody that we're all three stores are open. Remind people of how we're doing things, still have curbside pickup, stuff like that. So as the small business owner, it's been actually going pretty good. Still running about well, it's dropped a little bit, but we're running about 65% of sales across the board as a company, um, which I think that's okay. We only have about 2 weeks worth of data, so as people get more comfortable going out and ordering online, picking up in store, coming in and shopping, I think that'll increase. So that's been going well. Um, like yesterday was a sales wise for all three stores was a pretty normal day, and that was good to see. So then you get hopeful, but the day before was about 40% of what a normal day would be, and then you're just thinking, oh man, we're never going to get back open full. What am I going to do with staff at the end of June? Things like that. So just kind of rolling back and forth on things. So give you an update on the PPP. So got an email Sunday morning. Woke up Sunday, and there it was. Got an email from SBA. I'm sorry. Let's go back. It's the EIDL loan. We already got the PPP, the EIDL loan. So I got an email from SBA for EIDL. Open it up, and then basically it was pretty straightforward. It gave you the offer. I had been reading that SBA was limiting the amount of the loan to 150,000 for businesses. So we qualify for more than that, but they came back and it was a flat 150. And so what they did was basically you clicked on the email, went into their online form, and this was actually really easy. You validate your identity, like if you want to get your taxes or something. It says where have you lived. Asks you about 4 questions. Click submit. It goes, and about an hour later, I got an email saying your identity is validated, and gave you the documents. And you read through the documents, and then basically just signed your name in 3 places and hit submit. And within an hour, it said everything was approved. Now, looking at the documents, it was interesting to read through there. It came out and it plainly said in there that the SBA can ask for receipts of how you spent this money over the life of the loan. It's a 30-year term, 3.75% interest. So let's be conscious that the 150 that's in the bank, we set that aside, and if we spend any of it, that we document how it was spent, and it needs to be used on working capital. So that's stipulation in the loan. So as I mentioned before, what we're going to do is we're going to sit on that money just in case we have some type of weird thing happen in the fall. It gives us some working capital. Don't have to worry about rent, some other things. We can go off that, and then if nothing happens, we get back to normal. Next year at this time, we'll just pay them back with the interest. Now there was $100 processing fee that came with it that you had to pay. So you didn't have to do the UCC filing yourself with Secretary of State. So they went ahead and took care of that. That was that $100 processing fee, which is fine. I mean, it would have cost me $50 or something and the time to download the form and fill it out and send it to the Secretary of State. So that's there. And also there's no collateral on this besides no personal guarantee, just the corporation guaranteeing the loan. If we don't pay, they can come seize our assets. So I think the payment was like $760 a month if I decide to, just hold on to it and pay it. But so that's kind of where we're at. So PPP was really easy. So we applied at the end of March. So they finally got the end of March to 1st of April done. So if you've applied past that, you should be seeing stuff pretty quick. And the money dropped in yesterday. I think it was Tuesday morning. So I wake up Tuesday morning and the money's sitting in the bank account. So it's pretty efficient. I'll give kudos to the SBA. They got this thing worked out pretty well. And I think for future emergencies when it's needed, that this will help in the future anyway of quickly processing things. So that's kind of where we're at. Weather's getting nice and that's good to see. We need some for us for the clothing. We need some hot days and that way people come and start buying shorts and things like that. It's going to be interesting to see on the retail side of things how things really work long term because I know a lot of the big box stores have canceled a lot of their summer items or orders and so there might be some shortages of certain types of clothing, and so I think that'll bode well for the resale industry like ours. That the selection may not be quite there for the rest of the year. Will that hurt us a year from now, 2 years from now, when kids are outgrowing things or adults are wanting to change out some things? We'll see how that goes, but I don't anticipate anything. So that's kind of where we're at. I think I'm going to be gone over the weekend, so maybe what I'll try to do is I'm going to be heading to Cleveland on Thursday and then come back Sunday. Maybe what I'll try to do is do a video from the car. I'll stop at a rest stop or something and do a video and just kind of give you an update of how things are going. That drive time to Cleveland and back would give me a good 12 hours of each way of kind of thinking time and come back and kind of talk about what I think the new normal is going to look like. Kind of talk about how I think this as we're being open, what I think the future holds for small business. I did see a LinkedIn post from a guy that I know that but CEO of a tech company here in town, and one thing that was really apparent is that the people that have cash are the ones that are going to be. I say cash is king, and I think that's there's a lot of truth to that in this type of day and age. That cash, it really is king. And as a small business owner, I think that's one of the focuses you need to have going forward is figuring out how you can reserve money for that emergency fund. For us, I thought we had for the store. I thought we had 5-6 months of emergency fund, but I never thought of a complete shutdown. I thought, okay, something gets bad, tornado, a fire in a building next door, whatever, we can go a couple weeks with a shutdown, we're just fine. Some economic downturn, we can weather that. Never could imagine a complete shutdown. So, all said and done, we had about 2 months of cash reserve. So, over the next few years, I'm really going to focus on trying to build that cash reserve up so we can have at least 4 to 6 months of working capital sitting around. And again, that's why looking at the EIDL is that could supplement that. We'll see where it goes. But anyway, so next week or when I'm driving back, I'll stop somewhere and do a video and kind of talk about the future of how I think things are going. So with that, we'll catch everyone next week.